Issa Rae with Insecure season 4 wrapping up last night. Um, Insecure, best soundtrack on TV
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
Definitely my favorite one.
Yeah, I
Banger
would,
after banger, baby.
and just the choices are so just like perfect. It's never like a song that sounds good but doesn't really like fit the theme. It's always kind of um, it's always like just the right fit. I think I thought this was a really good season. I found the Issa Lauren stuff a little bit more compelling than it has been in past seasons, which I enjoyed. But I do find myself feeling like uh, these seasons keep running back the same core conflicts, right? And maybe all this is a show about Issa and Molly and their friendship as like actually being soulmates while they search for their partners. But I think I am feeling a little bit like I feel like we're seeing some of the same stuff play out over and over. But I think there's some new things to freshen it up, and I still really enjoy just being with these characters. Like the episode where they did the block party or that concert, I thought was excellent, just like really awesome. And just there's moments throughout where I find myself just being like this show is excellent. How did you feel about season 4?
Yeah, I did like that. I did like it. I think the conflict between Molly and Issa is really the central storyline
Mm-hmm.
for the whole season. And this is the first season that's 10 episodes instead of 8. So we had a lot of time. And because I think it's set up over time and really grounded in a lot of like it starts out with subtle digs and comments and side eyes and really progresses until it's in a really bad place and they're just not really friends at that moment. And it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting that as both characters have actually grown, right? I think that was a criticism in the beginning of the show is really, are these people going to change? And Issa has gotten her shit together, right? She's being a successful public event planner and stuff like that, right? Already working on the next gig. And Molly is obviously killing it at work, but also progressing romantically, at least for the time
Yes.
being. So between like they're growing together and yet they're growing apart in the process and seeing how that works, it's like you get it. Um, I think that's weird because like you kind of get some good stuff woven in. It's kind of subtle, right? Like you get Nathan coming back in. Nathan, I don't think most Insecure fans liked Nathan the way Nathan goes out in past seasons where he basically ghosts Issa. You find out Nathan realizes he is bipolar, and Issa feels bad about the way she handled that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, you have signs all season that Tiffany is having postpartum depression, and it
Mm-hmm.
really becomes a moment of crisis in the finale. Um, those are really good moments. It's funny. I was looking on Twitter and like, I think some people were like, oh, I thought Tiffany would have a man in that hotel room, and it's like, well, if you paid attention, you could tell she was off the whole time. I don't think it's
Yeah.
because she didn't like Derek. Derek is like the best dude on the show, I
By
think.
far. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um, I think there's an issue with repeating narratives or choices. It's because of Lawrence. I
Right.
think the reintroduction of Lawrence at the end of season 3, well, I think was kind of an inflection point for the show because we realized they were gonna close this circle as opposed to let Issa actually move on and have this guy leave. But because I think Jay Ellis, really good looking dude, good actor, he stars on the rise, makes sense that he came back to the show on that regard. But man, Lawrence is messy, and we get some bombs in the finale, man.
Yeah. The Condola baby bomb,
Mm-hmm.
certainly a huge issue to be brought up that kind of pushes Issa and Lawrence apart again. Leaves Lawrence unsure what he's gonna do in terms of like being with Condola, supporting a baby. Um, I felt like the final episode was a really strong one because I felt like the conversations felt so real, and that's another thing is I think the show does really well. Is the conversations always feel just like things you actually see and hear in your everyday life, whether it's Molly texting Issa by accident, and be like, "See, I'm trying to work with her." Like that felt so real in so many
Damn,
ways.
yeah.
The conversation between Ethan and Issa when Ethan told her that he was bipolar, I thought was really really good. Or even if it was like the way that they handled Andrew's brother being like subtly racist to Molly on the vacation. I felt like that all felt like
Yeah.
things you'd see from,
Especially given the timing we're watching it, it's like, God, this
yeah,
guy just doesn't get it at all,
yeah,
does he?
totally. So I give a lot of credit for that. How are you feeling about the bombs dropped in the final episode, though?
Yeah, well, it is kind of a two steps forward, one step back thing, right?
Right.
Because like Lawrence, I think is definitely was a better presence or a more likable presence on the show in season 4 because he has his shit together. He's
Mm-hmm.
been employed a while and he's actually being successful, right? And the issue with Lawrence early on was like, oh, he's a good looking dude. He dresses well when he has to, but God, he's just not motivated. And that was how we're introduced to that relationship. And seeing that kind of just completely spiral because now he has a kid on the way and will he move to San Francisco? How can Issa come to grips with having a relationship with someone who's about to have a kid with somebody else, even if they both want to stay together? Like you can understand all this conflict, but it's like because we went back to Lawrence effing up, it's like it's frustrating. I really like Andrew.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind if he came back somehow, but you understand why him and Molly are now split because you saw the signs throughout the season. I think, again, the show does a really good job of showing relationships change over time. Everything feels earned. So looking forward to season 5. I remember going in the season, I thought this was the final season for some reason. I'm not sure why I thought that, but that's not true. Season 5 is coming, probably not coming until 2022, given the production delays, as is commonplace at this point. But yeah, I guess in a sense we're kind of in a open place once again. It's like, are Molly and Issa going to become friends by episode 1 of next season? And then we just do some other stuff? I don't know.
Yeah. I think the show so expertly handles drama and comedy and really balances it really well so that you're never fully one way or the other. Like it will be something super serious like Molly and Issa getting in a fight or yelling at each other, and then someone's like, "Oh, she's reaching for a gun," then everybody goes running, and it's just like pandemonium. And even though that isn't funny, that's kind of where things are at. I think the way that they show it and it plays out and like the aftermath of it is pretty. It's light humor. It's at least lighthearted, if nothing else. Shout out Vince Staples.
Yeah.
I mean, your guy just dropping in, performing fun.
Just say from experience, there are not that many girls out of Vince Staples' show. Even a local show in LA, that is inaccurate portrayal. Let's leave it at that. Shout out to Mine.
Yep.
Chilling in that very same episode. You got how did he say it? We got the
what happened to your accent?
The judging branch and the money branch, the Bank of America, whatever he said.
Yeah.
That was great. We didn't get a lot of Natasha Rothwell this season, though.
No.
But she did write episode 8. And she had co-wrote last season's finale as well. And I noticed she had some producer credits as well. But yeah, I mean, not a whole lot of her probably due to scheduling. Jay Ellis did direct episode 7, his first time doing that. And Kerry Washington also directed episode 9. So, I think Insecure, the big highlight people gave it right from the start was that this is a show about black people by black people. And that obviously is still true. Now it's also a great LA show. And I think you kind of get the union of that in that finale where you see the Kobe Bryant mural, you see the Nipsey Hussle court, it's like, and the music choices, of course, are very in the culture. So, yeah, man, Insecure. And it's, I think, honestly, quite popular. It really lights up Twitter every night. It is a week-to-week event for a lot of people, even if it's not like Game of Thrones,
Totally. I do want to shout out the police interaction in the final episode.
Got one in there. That was good. Yeah,
I hope more police handle situations like that, please. But any last thoughts as we wrap up? Good show.
It's funny. Lil Rel Howery already had a character on the show, but the whole time I just wanted TSA Bay, who's good character. I wanted him to be Lil Rel.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because of Get Out. I don't know. But
he's hilarious though.
Yeah.
When he comes up to Issa and Lawrence with his girl, and oh my god, So funny.